Hey friends, welcome back to this week's episode of AMA Friday with Amy Miller, Recruiting in Yoga Pants. New office. So we did some remodeling around here recently, and I am back in the original home office. So very excited to have a bigger room, gonna fill it up with books and stuff, and no more sharing with the guests. Very excited about that. We will have a formal guest room. I have an office that is just an office. Love it. Okay, let's dig into this week. Speaking of sprucing things up, let's talk about dress code, my friends. Okay, so I get this question a lot. I've received a lot of emails, a lot of messages on LinkedIn, and my own candidates ask me from time to time as well. So we're going to talk about interview dress code. So hopefully I'll be able to give you some insight into, kind of how to navigate that, who to talk to, questions to ask. And there's really two big ideas around this that I want to leave you with. So let's jump in, shall we? Fun fact, I wore yoga pants to both of my most recent employer interviews. It's true. Google and the company I work for today. We don't say it out loud on the channel, but y'all can go to LinkedIn and look. Who knows? Might be different by the time you watch this. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm not going anywhere. But I did wear yoga pants. I have the benefit of working in tech. Nobody gives a shit. And we just wear what we want pretty much. So, which can be scary sometimes, but please use your best judgment, right? Okay, so big idea number one. What does your recruiter think? I cannot stress this enough, y'all. You should feel comfortable asking your recruiter. And as I was thinking about this video and kind of, making mental notes of what I wanted to cover with y'all, I kind of had a realization that I think part of the reason I get so many questions about this topic is because folks might be afraid to ask their recruiter. Do y'all ever feel that? Do you feel like, okay, is this really a safe place? Am I going to be judged if I ask a dumb question, or am I going to get, kind of a side eyes? Recruiter going to go tell the hiring manager, oh my God, Amy doesn't know what to wear. Ha ha ha. I don't think that's true, y'all. I think, now look, there may be circumstances you might be dealing with a real asshole recruiter, but I think generally speaking, recruiters want our candidates to succeed. I know I do. I don't want to go, I just want to fill this role. Can we be done with this job? I got other stuff to work on. So I know for me, I always want all of my candidates to be successful. I will gladly answer any questions, give you any guidance, feedback, instruction, anything at all that helps you be more prepared. That's always going to be my goal. So give yourself permission to just lean on that recruiter, trust that recruiter a little bit, and just, again, find out directly from the source, what are the expectations? What's normal for your organization? What is a general best practice when it comes to the interview? A lot of us are doing virtual interviews. We're on Zoom or Microsoft Teams or whatever. And so you're really only seeing me from about here upwards. Should I do my hair? Do I need to wear pants? Whatever. So I think that's fine. Do what's comfortable for you. Obviously be a grown up. Don't wear pajamas maybe. I don't know. Maybe you should. I don't know. Your call. But it's understanding your audience. That's really the big thing, right? Understand the audience. If you're on the West Coast interviewing for FANG, nobody gives a shit. If you're on the East Coast interviewing for a customer-facing, high net worth clientele position on Wall Street, a suit may be in order. I'm just saying. So understand the people you're going to be talking to, the company you'll potentially be joining, and just the general best practices that your recruiter would recommend. That's the first thing I want to leave you with. Number one piece of advice: talk to the recruiter, talk to trusted advisors, friends, contacts, colleagues, etc. at the company who can tell you a little bit more about what's normal. The second thing, and this is probably more important, I personally feel like this even trumps the first thing, in my opinion. What puts you in the interview frame of mind. Now, hear me out on this, okay? I'll give you a personal example. When I first joined Microsoft, so I was coming from a very small company. I was a full-time, senior recruiter at a very small company. And I got a call from a girlfriend who was at Microsoft. She's like, oh my God, I love it here. We're hiring contractors. I don't know if you would be willing to give up a full-time job for a contract role, but we convert people all the time. I think you'd be amazing. What do you think? And I had a really bad day. And I said, absolutely, get me out of here. So I phone interviewed. I had phone interviewed. This is like 2012 or something. And I just, had like 3 phone interviews, and they made me a contract offer. I guess it was 2013, early 2013, because I started in February of 2013. So it's somewhere around there. And so I show up to work, and I'm dressed, normal, casual, jeans, whatever, because it was a casual environment. My friend had warned me. But then I'm talking 2 weeks in, like this is fast. Talk about right place, right time. There's a point to this. I'm getting to it, I promise. I was offered an opportunity to interview for a full-time role. Y'all, I panicked. I was like, I just got here. What if I screw it up? What if I blow the interview and I lose my contract? Will my old company? No, I went out in a blaze of glory. My old company's not taking me back. I shared feedback. We'll just leave it at that. And I was really nervous. And so I wanted to really kind of be on my best, right? It was really important to me that I was like showing up, the red lipstick, the black knit Calvin Klein dress, I really, really spruced it up. And my interview was split over a couple days. And I remember showing up to work, and I'm dressed up, and people are like, where are you going? You got a date? What's happening? What are you dressed up for? Oh, well, I'm interviewing, wish me luck. And they're like, oh, you're interviewing. Okay, interesting. Good luck. I mean, nobody was mean to me or rude about it, but I think they could kind of tell, like, she wore that to an interview? Okay, somebody tell her. So I walk by my recruiter's office. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna, I just finished after my first round of interviews. I'm like, hey, I just finished. I dressed up. I hope that's okay. I'm so nervous. I hope it went well. And he's like, Amy, look around you. Do you see anyone dressed up here? I said, no, but it's an interview. And he's like, nobody cares. You don't have to dress up. I'm like, fine. So I had my last 2 interviews, finished the interview day, a couple days later, and thankfully everything went okay, and they made me an offer. But it was an eye-opener for me. And it was, one of those moments, kind of a pivotal moment in my career, where I started kind of thinking about, how do I want to coach people through this? How do I want to be the recruiter that helps someone navigate this? Because there are these almost opposing forces, right? There's the company norm, the recruiter or hiring manager expectations, and then there's what works for you, and what feels comfortable for you, and what feels good to you. Those may not always match. And so here's my advice. Listen to your recruiter, think about the environment, think about, what you're walking into, and just try to find the balance with what works for you. So here's what I've seen happen time and again. And I do share this with my candidates. I do let them know, hey, everyone's going to be super casual. Right? Everybody's going to be in jeans and t-shirt that you talk to. No one's going to be dressed up. However, this is an interview. I want you to be in interview mode. If you need to wear a 3-piece suit to put yourself into an interview mindset and be successful, do that. But just know, coming to work every day, you're going to be surrounded by people in jeans and t-shirts. That doesn't mean you have to wear jeans and t-shirts. I just want you to know what the culture is, or what the vibe is, or what have you, right? And same thing when I was with the small company I mentioned that I left for Microsoft. We were very conservative. I was wearing suits every day. Even the tech people Even the IT team was dressed up. It was very strange for Seattle. And so, you know, you want to kind of know that going in, like, are there weird expectations? Am I going to have to wear a suit? Do I, you know, or do you want to, and you're going to be the only person in a suit surrounded by everybody in t-shirts? Who cares? It's one of my favorite things about working in tech. No one cares. I cannot stress that enough. Literally, no one cares from what I've seen. I should walk that back because different people might have different experiences. So, okay, let's leave that there. Because the more I think about this, the more this starts going sideways. And for those that have had a bad experience because of attire, hairstyles, lipstick choice, piercings, tattoos, you name it, I'm sorry, because it shouldn't impact you. And I would also say, as a recruiter, and I've had this conversation with hiring teams, I remember, and this was actually also at Microsoft, oddly enough, a young man, three-piece suit. I mean, he is so buttoned up, he is so fancy, and he was so nervous. And my hiring team was like, Amy, he dressed up. What's that about? Is he going to be a culture fit? And I said, shut it down. Shut it down. This is what he was comfortable in. And if he shows up to work in a three-piece suit every day, can he code? What can he code? That's what we want to focus on. And so it is okay. So for my recruiter friends watching, I give you permission to push back on that silly stuff. Don't worry about that person's tattoos. Don't worry about that person's braids. Don't worry about that person's shoes. Can they code? Can they perform the function of the job? Then we're good. All right. So I'm way over time. How did that happen? I thought this would be a short one this week, but I hope that helps. Most of all, I want y'all to be comfortable in your own skin. I want you to feel good going into this conversation. Interviews are nerve-wracking, right? It's a test. I say this to my candidates all the time. You can be the world's greatest mathematician. Now you have to show your work. Remember that back in algebra? You had to show the work. You couldn't just have the answer. You had to prove it. That's an interview a lot of times. So I want you to look at the interview dress code or the interview presentation or the interview look as what looks good on you. What puts you in the right frame of mind? What helps you feel confident and allows you the space to be yourself, bring your best stories, and nail the job interview, okay? That's what I want for you. So talk to your recruiters, talk to your friends, talk to me. Let me know, what's the craziest thing you ever wore to an interview? Now I'm curious. For me, probably yoga pants, and I still got the job. All right, y'all, keep the conversation going down below. Let me know what you think, and we will see you next week.